Hi, Stacy Cunningham here again, and today I want to talk to you about another lesson from Anthony Cummins' upcoming book, The Ultimate Art of War. This time I've chosen lesson 44, which is called Preservation is Better Than Destruction. This one comes right out of chapter 3 in The Art of War, and here's the image from J.K. that goes along with it. So yes, preservation is better than destruction. If taken at face value, you might think, well, duh, Stacy. Of course, you have to do your best to protect your side so you can have as few of casualties as possible. It's just common sense. But what if I said preservation of the enemy is also important? Let's see what Sun Tzu says. So again, I'll be reading from the Giles translation. If you have a different one, see if you can find what it says there. Maybe it says something a little different. It likely does. So anyway, let me get on this reading. In the practical art of war, the best thing of all is to take the enemy's country whole and intact. To shatter and destroy it is not so good. So too, it is better to recapture an army entire than to destroy it. To capture a regiment, a detachment, or a company entire than to destroy them. Hence, to fight and conquer in all your battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. Now, most translators agree with Giles on this, that this section is about preserving the enemy. Whether you use politics, influence, intimidation, whatever, stopping their plans and making them surrender is just all around better for your side than having to actually fight them. It may sound like an odd perspective to take of preserving or protecting the enemy, but you actually gain a lot from not dealing them any damage. So let's talk about some different benefits in winning without a fight. First off, and probably the most obvious point, is that not fighting means you don't lose any people or any resources. And of course, this is definitely something you want. Another benefit is that you can use anything you seize of the enemies. As talked about elsewhere in the Art of War, enemy supplies are considered more valuable than your own. You might get some useful gear, some nice defensive locations, and even people to add to your side. This is the true damage you deal to the enemy, in taking away from their strength and adding it to your own. Also, you don't have to fix what isn't damaged and destroyed because, if something is broke, you might have to fix it. For instance, areas you conquer become areas to protect, so you would want to repair any damage done to the defenses that are now your property. Else, you're just leaving weaknesses that can be exploited. So, all the better if you don't have to fix anything to begin with. As with all things, you do have to be realistic and reasonable. Winning without an actual fight just isn't always going to be possible. And, making big sacrifices just to keep the enemy side fully intact probably isn't a good idea. And so, that is what's meant by preservation is better than destruction. Politics, strategy, and tactics should be used to seek victory, with combat being a last resort. Whether it's the surrender of a whole country or of a single position, you benefit from winning with everyone's property and people intact, because then it's all yours. And that's the lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.